Hello and welcome to the final episode of Raising Healthy Mothers in this season. And it's the final episode of 2025 as well. So it is the end of November and you are probably already holding the logistics of Christmas in one hand, packed school calendars in the other, and wondering how you're meant to keep it all going while also trying to stay calm, present, and maybe even festive and giving them a Christmas to remember. And if you found yourself thinking, what's the point of starting anything new now? I want to speak directly to that part of you today. Because this episode isn't about shaming you into absolutely not eating any chocolate this Christmas. It's about what happens when we quietly decide to just keep going instead of choosing to be held. Maybe your mornings already feel like you're behind before you've even had a sip of tea. Maybe it's because your children are climbing into your bed still at 3:30 in the morning when you think surely by now they should be staying asleep all night in their own beds. You're always up before you actually want to be. Someone's asking for you, someone else is upset, they won't let you get out of bed because they just want to have all the cuddles, and the other one wants to have breakfast like right now and they won't let dad do it. You're the one gathering the energy, soothing the edges and moving everything forward. It's not that you're not managing, because you are. You are getting things done, you're getting them dressed, you're getting them fed to a certain degree. But nothing feels settled, nothing feels easy, everything feels like hard work. And you do get through the day because that's what you do. You know how to function, you know how to hold a lot. But holding everything is starting to cost you in ways that feel too much right now. You can't actually ignore it anymore. You've probably tried the things that were meant to help. More rest, less pressure, some boundaries here and there. Starting with a better breakfast, maybe you've upped your protein, you've read the articles, you've got all the reels on Instagram that are saved, maybe you've done the courses, maybe you've downloaded the freebies, maybe you've downloaded one of my freebies. You're not resisting change, you're trying really hard, you know something has to change, you've been quietly working on yourself for years, but things aren't changing. Because even though you've slowed down, you're still holding the emotional weight of everything. And I want to say this clearly, it is not your fault, but this is your invitation. Because you are outgrowing the version of yourself that thought she had to carry it all without support. You're not doing anything wrong, it's just that your capacity is changing and your life hasn't caught up yet. And that doesn't mean you need to burn it all down. It means that this season of life needs to be met with a different kind of support. One that honors the fact that you are no longer 33 with one toddler. You might be 41 with 3 kids, changing hormones, deeper values, and a body that wants to be listened to, not pushed to the brink anymore. And maybe you're thinking, this is all true. This is me. You've raised your hand, but it's nearly December. I'll just get through Christmas and deal with this in January. This is a very normal thought, and you are allowed to wait. But I also want to gently ask, is waiting actually restful? Or is it just resignation? Is it, I want to give myself space? Or is it, I don't feel like I'm allowed to choose myself right now? In other words, is it just an excuse? Because here's what I know, you don't need to overhaul everything in December. But you can take one small step now that means January isn't another rescue mission, that you're not arriving at January thinking everything has to change. I'm going to do it all now and I'm going to start running and I'm going to start eating better and I'm going to start putting in some routines. I'm going to make sure they get to bed on time and I'm going to make sure they try and sleep through the night. I'm going to do all those things that I'm finally meant to do. But instead, you can end the year quietly supported instead of crawling to the finish line with nothing left in the tank. So if you want to begin now, if you want to start slow, this is what I think you need to do. These aren't tips. They're not more things to do. They're just anchoring steps, invitations to feel a bit more like yourself without actually asking for more from yourself. So the first step I want you to do right now is decide that your energy matters. Even now, not in January, not when it's more convenient, not when the kids are older, but now. Even if that decision only changes one small thing this week, making that decision is a huge first step. Number 2, feed yourself earlier in the day and feed yourself properly. You need to eat more than you think, I promise you. Before that 4 o'clock crash, before the biscuits call from the cupboard. And I don't even mean like you need to eat perfectly. I don't even mean you need to be completely, perfectly, nutritionally balanced. Just something real, something proper, something enough, something that's going to keep you going. It's not about eating clean. It's not about having that perfect diet or the superfood or the cleanse or the juice or whatever. I don't do those things. I'm just saying, please eat. Please choose something for you. And then the third thing is let dinner be simple on purpose. Not because you're struggling, not because you're not managing, but because your energy matters more than meal performance. No one is there Instagramming your meals, I promise you. I always say to my clients during my reset and to myself as well, it's okay for 1, 2, 3 meals a week to be those simple, like nursery style meals for your kids. The beans on toast, the dippy eggs, they feature in our weekly meal plans every single week. Maybe because it's a day when they've had activities until late at night and we need something quick and easy they're going to eat without a fuss. Or maybe it's because, that night I'm going to eat something really slow with my husband rather than rushing through dinner for a change. Or maybe it's because, tonight I'm not very hungry and I'll just give them something simple and then I'll have something simple later as well. It's perfectly fine to take those simple meals and allow them into your week every single week. Not in a way of like, oh, I've got nothing to cook, I don't know what to cook, I'm just going to make this, and then make it that's what you do every single night. I know you want to do better for your meals, but I also want to give you that permission slip to make it simple and easy. And I also want to tell you that it's okay to get help with your meals. If meal planning has been on your mind for absolutely ages, then that is exactly what I help people do. And I have 3 ways that I can help you with meal plans at the moment. Number 1, if your brain is too full for recipes, then you can download my free hassle-free template meals. You'll get simple ideas that don't require thinking, planning, second guessing, or even looking at a recipe. If you want a system that actually works around fussy eaters and full days, then Dinner on the Table is the place to start. That's my guide that walks you through how to plan meals, and it's for mums who don't want to spend Sundays writing out a spreadsheet of meals. And then if you want a nutritional therapist and a trained chef to actually just tell you what to cook, then the weekly table is the gentlest help. I send you 5 meals every week, already planned, already done, batch prep ideas, fussy eating tips in there. If you want any of those, you can find the links to them in the show notes. I want meals to be something that helps you come back to yourself, not something that adds to the noise. I want it to be something that is easy and simple for you. And that is why my starting point is to create these kind of template meals and the meal plans for you. Anyway, back to the things that you can do now that it's December and I know that you want to bring change starting right now. Choose one moment in the day that's just for you, even if it's just a couple of minutes. An uninterrupted cup of tea that you drink right to the end while it's still hot. A walk around the block. A favourite song in the kitchen that you stop cooking dinner or stop washing up to and start dancing to and belting it out at full volume. Or even just sitting in the car for a few minutes after drop off and just taking a few deep breaths. You absolutely need to do this. Not because you've earned it, but because you exist and you have needs and you are allowed to do things for yourself. Number 5, speak one thing out loud. Tell people how you feel, to your partner, to a friend, or even just to yourself on voice notes. One thing that you're tired of holding in your head, one thing that you just need to get out there. It doesn't need to be resolved. You can just say, look, I don't want advice. I just need to say this. It deserves to be witnessed and to be heard and to be held. These are the small ways that you start being held even before anything external changes. The differences isn't dramatic, but you will feel it, you will notice it. And it's often the beginning of everything else changing. And I love that domino effect. When you start really small, and then when that works, you start something else and something else and something else. And then you look ahead a year from now and you're like, wow, things are so different than they used to be. And it's so easy to look back on it and be like, oh, well, that's because back then my kids were 4 and now they're 5 and they're each sleeping better and they're at school and all of these things. Yeah, but also you made changes. Things changed for you. And that is how things change. That is how you get that domino effect of change. You start now. You don't start in some time in the future because by that point they'll be older. They will change. Things will change because things have started changing now. If you've been listening to this and thinking, that's me, that's exactly where I am, then here's where we go next. Recover is my 6-month one-to-one program for mums who are fed up of feeling like they're running on fumes and ready for real, lasting change. This isn't a meal plan and a pep talk. This is deep, personalized support that meets you where you are and walks with you into something steadier. We start with a full comprehensive blood test so we can see exactly what your body's missing. Then we build a tailored plan that works with your family life, your energy, your goals. You get regular check-ins, unlimited chat support, and practical steps that gently rebuild your energy, your confidence, and your rhythms week by week. You feel truly held. There's no guesswork, no overwhelm, just focused support that helps you feel like yourself again, not just the version of you that gets everyone else through the day. If that kind of container sounds like what you've been circling, if you're ready for support that actually lands, the link to apply is in the show notes. I don't just take anyone, I talk to every single person who is interested. So you book in for a call first and then we work out whether it's right for you. You do not need to wait till January. You just need to decide you don't want to keep going like this. And I would love to walk with you through this. Thank you so much for being here in Raising Healthy Mothers over the last season or the last few years, however long you've been here. You are so appreciated. I love doing these podcasts. They are still my favorite thing. And I would love to see you again in 2026. So have a great Christmas and I'll see you then. Bye for now.